Okay, welcome to Monday Night Zoom training. And tonight I have a special treat for you. So I am in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, at the beach house of Platinum Executive Cynthia Evans. And I kept thinking, what am I going to train on tonight? And I thought, well, I mean, this right here is the house that Xyngular built, you know? So the thing that I think would be the best thing in the whole world to train on is what Xyngular can give you. And that is financial freedom and time freedom. And I want to take y'all on a little tour, if that's okay. Are y'all good with that? Because this is pretty cool. I'm really excited. So this is, let me see if I can turn this around. Well, maybe not.
You want to take them on the porches?
Huh?
You want to take them on the porches?
No, I'm just going to go upstairs to my room. Okay. I have a room, y'all. I'm really excited. So this is one bedroom in here. And this is a Jack and Jill bathroom. I'm not going to go there. There's somebody in there. Yeah, we're not going to watch anybody. This is just like a little sitting area. There's another bedroom in there. This is her living room. And I'm on the second floor and the fireplace still goes up. But that's the table. There's Cynthia. Tables. How many does that seat? 14?
14 here, but we've got extra chairs. So
yeah. So this is the bathroom I'm using. Look how cute everything is. Here's my bedroom that I'm staying in. And everything's decorated in like grays and teals, Xyngular teal, of course. And then I'm going to take you down and show you the master. I'm not going to go all the way downstairs to the basement, but I will walk outside so you can see the pool as well. But I want you to be thinking while I'm walking through here, what is it that you want? What is it that is on your dream list? Because this is not a necessity. This is a want. But this is something that you can have if you dream big. And this is their master. You dream big and you make a decision to work for it. So this house, and she'll probably kill me, but this house right now is, the value of it is about $2 million. I mean, can you even imagine? Oh, you got to see this kitchen. I'll show you the kitchen real quick. The kitchen's unbelievable. Miss Heather, let me take you out and show you the pool. Isn't it beautiful? So, you want to sit right here?
Yeah.
You sit right here, or you're going to sit inside? I'm not going to go downstairs right now. So, the reason I bring this up is because this was on her dream board. This is something that she wanted. She had a plan, she had a goal, and the only way that she got what it was that she wanted and what it was that she dreamed about is because she worked her tail off. And I have seen her. I've seen her work. I've seen her work ethic. I've seen that, I've talked to her. I talked to her on the phone several times a week, and we talk about what the IPAs that you guys are doing, the things on the any list that you guys are doing. She does them and does them again and does them again every single day. She was one of the first people to earn the Founders Club trip. You don't earn that trip if you're not working and you're not sponsoring and you're not promoting. So it doesn't matter that she's at a platinum executive level. She's still doing the exact same work as the assignments that you guys have. The exact same thing that you guys do day in and day out, she does them. And I want you to come over here. Okay. So first off, What made so everybody knows Cynthia. So let's tell a story about how we met real quick, because we would never have known each other without Xyngular. And I was in a real bad place in my business. I was in a place where, and I'm emotional today, so if I cry, y'all, I'm just sorry, because it's been a long day. But I was in a place where I was ready to walk away. I was ready to throw in the towel. I was ready to give it all up. I was ready to not come back. I was exhausted from working my 60-hour-a-week job, and then, working Xyngular too. And, to a point where people quit, and it was hard. It was a mental decision, a mental exhaustion where I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to put in all that work again and to have this happen again. And I was at a point where I had earned the Founders Club trip. And after the trip, I was really going to step aside with Xyngular and go back and focus on my job. And as God would have it, because I don't call it fate, or I don't call it luck. I know it was a higher power. I know it was the Lord that made Atlanta ground planes because of an ice storm. And I got iced in the Atlanta airport overnight with Cynthia. I didn't know her. All I knew was her big personality. I had seen her at conventions, and she was the one that everybody wanted to get their picture made with. And I was just like, I was like fangirling her. Every time I saw her, I was starstruck, because she was, that big, the little bitty package with this big, huge personality. And I got stuck overnight in an airport with her. And I'm going to tell you, she makes enough money, and I'm just going to tell them she makes anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a month. Is that pretty accurate? $50,000 to $100,000 a month. Say that again, a month. And she could have taken her and Rudy, and she could have gone to a hotel. She could have afforded it. But you know what she did? She stayed in the airport with me and Kevin overnight in a hard seat, and she poured into me that night. I told her where I was, and she told me, and y'all have heard this over and over again, but she told me that she has been there. She had built to an executive level and lost everything, lost every person on her team. And she didn't quit. She rebuilt. And she told me that if I quit, I'm stupid. She really did. She used those words. And I took her to heart and came back with a fire lit under me, and grew my business back and didn't quit, and just gave it even more than I had given it before. And then what happened was I had came back in January as silver manager. And by March, I ranked up to platinum director. So in January or in December, silver manager. In March, platinum director. And you know why? Because I believed in myself, and I had somebody that poured that belief into me. And the thing is anything that you guys want, any kind of legacy that you want to leave, anything that you want to build, anything that you want to buy, anything that you want to have for your family or for your grandkids, early retirement, a dream wedding, a dream vacation, a beach house in North Myrtle Beach, whatever it is that you want, you got to first have the dream. You've got to believe in that dream. And then you've got to make the decision that you're going to work for it and not let anything get in your way. So that's the how we met and how we became friends, and we've stayed friends because I made that happen. I was like, now that I have her in my life, I'm never gonna let her go. And will you just talk about like how this has changed your life?
Oh my gosh!
Talk about like the time freedom, what the financial freedom has done for you and Rudy and Connor, and what's allowed him to do.
Yeah.
And still, I'm
now,
just going to let you do it because I'm going to cry.
Well, look at the moon. There's a full moon over there. I don't know if you can see it. And the clouds are just kind of moving around. We've got team members down there in the swimming pool. Melissa's amazing. You guys know that. You absolutely know she is. So she didn't have to talk me into remaining friends with her. We are so close now. And, there's like 6 of us here this weekend or this week. We're here for a week. And, you find your tribe. And like she said, we would have never known each other except for this business. And what it's done for me has been so much. Like, you know, when I had my law firm open and I was just completely stressed out, like you really have no idea. Like, I was paying for 3 families before my own, and they were called employees, and providing 100% of their health insurance, 100% of their pay, because they didn't have any other income outside of what I was paying them. And it was so stressful, and I had to eat what I killed. So it was like, if the case didn't settle, I didn't get paid. I did not do the type of law where you get paid an hourly rate. It was all contingency fee. So the great thing about that is it provided me with delayed gratification mentality, which you have to have in this. People get started and they're like, well, you know, I hit manager and nothing's growing from there, and I think this doesn't work for me and I'm going to quit. My longest legal case lasted 9.5 years. 9.5 years without me making a dime in that case, with me pouring money, $100,000 money borrowed from a bank into that case to get paid at the end. You have to have delayed gratification to do anything good in your life. And if you don't believe that, think about your job. If you work for somebody else right now, if you've worked more than 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is, but you're not where you want to be, somehow you stayed there at that job for 20 years, knowing full well that you're capped out on an income, that boss will only pay you what they think you're worth and not what you're really worth. With this, why wouldn't you work harder than you would for a boss and longer than you would for a boss to make more than what the boss can pay you? Long-term vision is crucial. Like, don't think, I mean, you send your kids to college, they know it's going to take 4 years. You're going to put money into it for 4 years. You're not going to make a dime while you're in there. You're going to come out looking up at zero at all the money that you spent in the hole with a paper that does not guarantee any income whatsoever. So I don't understand how people have long-term vision for college and universities, but they don't have long-term vision for their own business. It's just never, ever been a problem for me to see long-term. So I think it's employee mentality versus ownership mentality. So I would challenge everyone to get ownership mentality tonight. From this day forward, you see yourself as a business owner, and the average business, and we're not average, okay? So we are above average, but an average traditional business takes 5 to 8 years to make a positive dollar after you put all the overhead into it. Think about this. You purchase a package of products, you literally can make your money back in the first couple days if you want to. And then everything from that is profit. So you don't even have to wait 3, 5, 8 years, whatever, like an average traditional business to make money. And the evidence for me was like, okay, I referred this to somebody and I got paid. My first check was $75. I said, if it works at a little level, it'll work at a big level. So if you have even gotten paid 1 dime from this business, then you know it works. You know it works. Proof is there. You've been paid. You have been paid. So obviously it's not a scam. You know it works. So now do more. And so when Melissa was talking about, you know, at these upper levels and stuff, that we still do all the work. So we've got 6 people, another one's coming. There'll be 7 of us here this week. And we have a group chat going on. Our house is called Bikini Bottom. So it's the Bikini Bottom bunch chat that's been going on. And they were like, oh, we're going to get up early. We're going to go walk on the beach. We're going to go do this, do that, do this. And I come in as the realist and said, no, first we're going to do our any list. Mm-hmm. Because that's what pays for the beach house. That's what pays for the vacation. That's what allows you to be here too. The any list comes first before play. We get every daily task done first before play, because if you don't take care of your business will not take care of you. And so I literally don't go to bed at night until my list is done. And I've always been that way. When I first started the business, I was making 10 brand new contacts a day. And here's a little bit of a training. We had a training at our house yesterday, and I had a whiteboard there, and I said, okay, it's summertime. Everybody likes to go to islands and all this stuff. If you were deserted on an island, and the only way that you could get off that island was to hit executive, the only way. You're never going to see your kids grow up. You're never going to see your parents again. You're never going to see anything unless you get off the island by hitting executive. What would it take? And they gave me a list. I wrote down everything everybody said. They were like, oh, you need a cell phone. You need Wi-Fi. You need personal growth. You need all this stuff. And when push came to shove, we went down this list. I said, there's only 2 things you need here. Well, 3. There's 3 things you need. 1, you need a phone. Okay. You need a way to connect. And raise your hand if you have a phone. You're on it, right? You have a way to connect. Second thing you need, because someone said, oh, you need people to talk to. Well, no, because you probably have 5,000 friends on Facebook and you're not talking to them now. So what you need is to talk to people. Okay. You have to connect. You have to have new connections every single day, and you have to make new connections every single day. And the third thing that you need is to connect those people with your mentors so that they can help you grow faster. So 3 things: a phone, connect with people every day. Doesn't matter whether it's texting, talking, or whatever it is. And then connect them with your mentors. That's it. Because when we first started this business, Facebook was just starting. I didn't have any friends on Facebook. We had 0 tools in the company. All I knew was I had to connect with people. And so every night before I went to bed, I connected with 10 new people a day, whether it was texting, whether it was calling them, or whether, when Facebook came out, instant messaging someone just to say, hey, I found you here on Facebook. Let's be friends. How have you been? Like maybe somebody from junior high school or college or whatever, just connecting. Okay. And then when they asked me what have you been up to? I'm like, oh my gosh, outside of my legal practice, I have started my own business. I own a health, wellness, weight loss, and nutrition business, but I'm also doing something else. I'm helping people make money and retire young. That's what I'm doing. Who do you know that needs that? And then I would just drip on people every day. I would send them pictures of my checks, because back then we got checks. It wasn't electronic. And I'd say, holy crap, like in the beginning, like I just made $135. You are missing out. Oh my gosh, I just made another $300. Man, you're missing out. I would send them money things every day. And I'd say, you're missing out. Everything ended with, you're missing out. You're missing out. You're missing out. Never once did I talk about products. And we are I'm sorry to say, but in 2022 right now, and it takes an average of $3,500 extra for the average household to live the same way they did in 2021. If we are talking about products, we are missing the boat. Everybody's being hit with inflation. My son lives in California where the gas prices are $7. We just came down here today. What were they? I don't even know what the prices are, like $5, $5.50 a gallon. Everybody's being hit with this. If we are not talking about money, we are missing the boat. Your testimonial groups about the products are going to get people signed up by accident with the products, but you've got to intentionally talk to people about money. And I never talked to them about products whatsoever. The people I was texting was like, holy crap, you are missing out. I just made an extra whatever. And so the first day that I made an extra $700 in a day, because I had heard of a person in my upline who's kicked out now. His name was Tom Scheffler, and he had made $700 in a day. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty darn good. And I was like doing the math on that, 7 times 30 and everything else. What would that be a month? And how much could that pay my bills outside of the legal practice and blah, blah, blah. Well, I had my first $700 day, and I texted everybody in my phone. And I said, I just got paid $700 today on the side with no overhead, and you are missing out. Well, then I had $1,000 day, and then I had a $2,000 day, and it just went crazy. And I'm telling you, I only talk about money, and Melissa knows that. She knows it. She sees it. Like, I don't talk about products. They come by accident. Only if someone says, well, I feel fat, I don't want to get in a bikini. I'm like, well, you should do what we do, whatever. But I don't talk about products. Those are going to happen by accident. You can sponsor 1,200 to 400 inception volume easily with people getting on products by accident from your story groups, but they won't stay and build a business because they only joined to drop 20 pounds. And then people get mad. They're like, well, this person, I signed all these people up and nobody wants to do anything. What do you mean they don't want to do anything? They're doing exactly what they signed up for. They signed up to lose 20 pounds. That's exactly what you talk to them about. That's exactly what they're doing. If you want people to build a business, you got to talk about money. Talk about money, letting them know what they're missing out on. So we're in a neighborhood down here where this is our second home and everybody on the block lives here but us. Everybody. And the house is not cheap. And so people were like, our neighbors were like, well, when are you moving down? When are you selling your house and moving down here? We're like, we're not. We just got done building our dream house in West Virginia. And, you know, it's like 4 times the size of this house and we're not moving from there. We're just back and forth on vacation. So the eyes that open up, they're like, well, what do you guys do? And I'm like, I own an online business. I help people make money. That's what I do. And they're like, well, how do you do that? I'm like, let me show you. I don't talk about products. I help people make money. And then I know my audience. Sometimes I throw in some words that might not be appropriate, depending on the person. Melissa's heard that too, you know, when someone asks me what I do. And, but it's funny. And people just have no idea how big this is. And so that's another reason I talk about the money all the time, because not how much I make, but just leading with the opportunity. Because now we're seeing people having to sell their vacation homes because they can't afford the payments because of inflation, or that the housing prices have gone sky high. So they want to make a quick buck and pay their bills because they can't afford to pay both and stuff like that. So I just want you guys to know that it's here. I want you to know it's real. And I want you to work on your internal and external environments. And by internal environment, kill your ants. Okay? Your ants, A-N-T, kill the ants. That's automatic negative talk. Okay? Kill the ants. Write that down. Because your brain is like a supercomputer, and what program you tell it to run, it's going to run. So if you tell yourself, I can't do this, I'm not as good as that person, this will never work for me, I've talked to all these people and nobody wants to do this, you are putting ants out there and you need to kill that. Okay. So just acknowledge that you have the negative thought, and then take a deep breath, breathe that in, the possibilities that could be there, exhale out the bad negativity, and then just change it, like do an affirmation and switch it around. I can do this. I'm going to do this. I will do this, whatever that negative thing is. So kill the ant. That's in your internal environment. And then your external environment, I would say get rid of the negative people in your life. And that can be a little bit difficult because sometimes the negative people in your life are people who love you the most. They might be your spouse. They might be your kids. They might be your brothers and sisters. And I don't mean go get a divorce or anything like that, but you have got to guard yourself and get rid of the energy vampires. And you've got to decide, I'm going to prove them wrong. And then you've got to expand your network of people. Okay. So if you are surrounded by negativity in your household or at your job or in your family or wherever it is, expand your peer group. You will become like the 5 people you hang out with the most. So make sure that you're mentoring up. Make sure that your friends are up. Make sure that you are putting yourself in a position to be around people who are up. And make sure that you're listening to people that are above your level, motivation wise and income wise, because you will become like them. So even if it means like maybe you can't physically be with someone that day, but you better be getting into a podcast or a book or an audio tape or something that is going to give you that peer group. And then you need to get hold of the people, get hold of Melissa, get hold of your upline, and I tell people this all the time, never mentor with somebody that's on your level. Never. You need to mentor up. If you are a silver manager, don't make your accountability partner a silver manager. Make your accountability partner somebody higher than that so they can pull you up instead of pull you down to their level. And so and I mean it. Like, don't get around people that are below your level, motivation wise, or even rank wise, because you need someone to pull you up. So for me, like, you know, I mentor with Mark Walker. I've always treated him like my sponsor. I don't have an upline. So I'm going to take away every excuse you ever had of, I can't do this because my upline is not doing it. My upline never did it. Okay, my sponsor has blocked me on Facebook. I don't know where she lives. I don't know what her phone number is. She does another company and tries to hide from the company so she doesn't get kicked out. The person above her got kicked out of the company. The person above him got kicked out of the company. The person above him died. I mean, I'm telling you, you do not need an upline to build it. You need to kill your ants and get motivation. But if you want to mentor, make it someone who's the most active person in your upline that's above your level, or make it a cross-line person who is above your level, motivational wise and rank wise, paid rank wise, so that you can grow. Don't discount yourself, and don't ever think you can't do this. And if you do have a negative person in your household, make it your main mission in life to prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. You can do this. I just want you to know you can do this. There's nobody that can't do this. You can do it with the help of anyone. If you have a board, you have the board on your phone, you have an AnyList in your hand, the AnyList will kill the ADD. Okay. Like, if you got ADD, just look at your AnyList and check it off. The board, it's like building business for dummies. Like, you don't have to know anything. You can put that in the hand of a brand new person and they can click on a key and it shoots out the information. We didn't have anything like this when we started. We were just like flustering and flubbering and not knowing what to say to anybody. And all I said to people was, you're missing out. I'm doing this with or without you, and you are missing out. When we went to Bora Bora, we've been there twice, but when we went there the first time, I literally like sponsored more people that month than I think I ever have in my life. I think it was 45 people that month while on vacation, because I was just constantly like sending them text messages going, you're missing out. You're missing out. A picture. All it said was it had a picture, and then you're missing out. So what I would do is take everything great that you have done or seen in this company, even if it's something that someone else has done, and then say, you know what, you're missing out. I'm doing this with or without you. I would rather you do it with me, but you're going to miss out. Come with me and let's do this. I believe in you. And I believe what I want to work with you, whatever it is. But I'm excited. I've always been excited. Always. I don't get down because I know what's here. And I never got down even before I knew what was here, because I got paid the first time. The minute that I got paid that first check, I knew it was real. I'm all about evidence. Once you have the evidence in your hand, it's just a matter of putting the pedal to the metal and making it happen bigger than you've ever had before. And you can do it. So dream big. This is our second beach house. The first one we had for 15 years. We outgrew that because we used to throw all the kids in a room and bunk beds. And now me and my sister's kids are all older, and now they're getting married and everything else. Oh, and she brought up Connor. My son, he hated college. Okay. How many of you all hated college? How many have kids that hate college? And that was tough for me because I went to college and have degrees and then became an attorney and all that kind of crap. My son hated college to the point where I thought he was going to kill himself if he stayed there. It was that bad. Well, he wanted to become an actor. He wanted to live in California. Major expense there. I mean, you're talking less than 1,000 square feet of apartment for $3,500. And now the rent went up in 2022. It's expensive there. That doesn't count any of your other expenses, your utilities, anything else. So this business allowed me to help give him financial backing to get there. And now he's met his future wife, and she was here at the beach last week. It's the first time he's been in love ever. And he would never have met her ever in his life if it wouldn't be for this opportunity, because that's the only way he was out there doing what he was doing. So there's so many things. It comes full circle with the business. And I know you guys have had successes in this business and been places and taken trips and met people that you love. And it's only going to get bigger. If I could just have a crystal ball and like he put you inside it and you saw what was to come, you would run through a brick wall to get there. You would put blinders on and go. So the challenge is this summer, you're going to be on vacations. You're going to be doing fun things. Do your any list first. If someone tries to snag you and pull you and say, no, come do this, you say, no, I got to do this first. And you know what? You're going to really want to go do that other stuff. So it's going to make you get up earlier and get it done. I promise you. And don't focus on the results of what you're doing. Focus on what you are doing, because just the daily task, it takes 90 days of a habit to even show any progress. So if you're making new contacts every single day, give yourself 90 days. And then you might sponsor your first person. You know what I mean? Like, it really takes like 90 days to show results of very good habits. So don't get depressed. Don't give up. The only way that you're not going to succeed is to not do it and to quit. It doesn't matter how much you fall. We have all fallen. I mean, we have fallen. Okay. My points were at 1.6 million during 2020. I fell down. Like, I fell back to platinum executive. And then I fell 1 month. I hit gold executive, and I hadn't hit gold executive for years. And I was like, oh my gosh, so you can really get at that rank and fall back. Yeah, you can, but then you rebuild. And it's just like the stock market. You get in the stock market, you put your retirement in there, and you don't take it out every week. You don't take it out every month. You let it grow, and you're going to have peaks and valleys and good times and bad times. But it's all going to grow at the end, So think of it like that, a long-term vision. That's the biggest takeaway from tonight. Long-term vision for a long-term gain and not short-term vision. Just don't do that to yourself, and don't do it to your family. They deserve more. To give it to them. This is residual. Something happened to you today. The income you make here will pay you forever. The person in my upline who passed away, his wife gets paid every single day of her life and has for the last 12 years. He died 12 years ago. This business has paid her every single day of her life. And we continue to grow, so she continues to get paid bigger. I mean, where can you see that ever happen? It's incredible. So I'm sorry to talk so long. I've just been really excited about everything. It's an amazing thing. Every single person here that's with us, besides my sister, I never knew before I got involved in this business. One of them is on my 2nd level. Melissa's on my 8th level. One of them is on my 4th level. My sister's on my front line. Who else? Oh, the other one's another one on my 2nd level. Another one coming that's on my 4th level. They're not all front line to me. And I mean, only one of them is front line to me. So just the relationships that you build here are going to be lifelong, and they will be life changing, and you will find your tribe. So anyway, I love you guys. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer anything that you have, and I'll give it back to Melissa. Thank you. Love you. Love you too.
So I want to, one of the things that she had talked about was building those relationships and actually talking to people, and not just about the products, but building the relationship so you open that door for the business. The Teensy Challenge that we're doing right now helps you do that the relationship marketing. And that would be something that I would encourage you to jump on. It started today. And if you have not joined, join it today. Get your Teensy done, your power hour done tonight before you go to bed. Don't go to bed until it's done, and do it for 14 days and see how it changes up here. See how it changes your mindset. See how it changes your attitude. See how it changes those habits. So, does anybody have anything? I know we've been on here a little long. Yeah, we're good. Does anybody have anything?
In the chat.
If you quit this, you're stupid. Yes. All right. Well, I love y'all so much. And thank y'all for praying for us today. We lost our little 12-year-old dog who was like our baby. And that's when I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. It's been a long day. So
I'm going to get her in the swimming pool tonight.
All right. I'm going to leave you guys declaring Ephesians 3:20. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask, because we honor him. His blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. You are in the right place at the right time. And I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you. God's going to open supernatural doors. People are going to seek you out, and we are going to rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and glory. Love you guys.
Amen.
Bye.
Thanks.